Good afternoon, it is Friday, which of course is a fun day, which also does mean it is time for this week's new music friyay. Now, we're starting off with an old one with a big hat. It's Jamiroquai, but this time he's doing Virtual Insanity and it's called the Baklava mix. Now at first I started thinking, what, has he been spending his summers in Greece eating some rather overly honeyed and almonded native pastries? No, turns out Baklava is a new bright dance DJ type person who's been thrust upon the scene in late 2019 and has worked with some greats. And Jamiroquai, I've always liked a bit of JK, and this is just yet another version of virtual reality to virtual insanity to add to the playlist. Not a bad start for New Music Friday. I hope it carries on to be as good as it's begun with. And enjoy your baklava. Alright, ne. Next up we have The Sickness. Well, the song The Sickness. It's by Keizu, who we all know is just epic insanity on stage. But here he is with Ghost Kid. What can I say about Ghost Kid? Well, comes across as Youngblood's elder sibling of the EDM scene, if you ask me personally. But musically, it definitely adds to a caviar of Keizu. It gives you something that is just this. And I like it. It's a good one. And yes. So, continuing on with some electrical dancey stuff. Let's see what's coming next. And here we have another electrical artist. It's Spiritualized. Now, back in the late 90s, I used to fall asleep listening to the Spiritualized album, which was a really bad idea, because if you weren't asleep by track 6, you were going to get woken up. But they still are about today. And unironically, the chances are they're not as old or older than myself, so they will have a medicine cupboard filled with pills. But this time, more prescription, for the knees and stuff. But the music still is a medicine and well worth a listen. And if the single is anything to go by, this album will be another trip down medicational purposes of music, or music medication. So here we go. Here's another fantastic Midas touched cover by the wonderful Melodica Brothers. It's Zombified. Now I have to admit I had to do a quick little googly searchy thing to find out what they were actually covering on this one. Turns out it's Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse. A rather angst-ridden metalish type band who look more glam than the 80s. So, there we go. Lyrics are quite poignant. I'm guessing it's a stab at cancel culture. So, hashtag woke. And we're all zombies apparently. But, as always, Melodica Brothers have bred some new life into it and somehow give it a bit of a catch. Now you may or may not be wondering, while Tangerine Dream have been heavily featured in New Music Friday for the last few weeks, well, a few months to be precise. Well, firstly, they've got a couple of new albums on the way. And secondly, they seem to be kickstarting a European leg of their tour come March. You can catch them in places such as Belfast, Dublin, Manchester, and I'm teaching them whether to go to that one, to be honest. If I can get decent tickets and a babysitter, it would be worth it. So definitely in the diary, it's penciled in there. Back in the day, you ever wonder why I say penciled in? It's so you can rub it out. It's penciled in, but they also played Edinburgh and Glasgow, Newcastle, and oh dear God, they're even playing my hometown Liverpool. So if I can't get to Manchester, I should at least manage to get to Liverpool one. Chances are I can't get a babysitter for one. I'll get a babysitter for the other. So anyway, if you like the grandfathers of EDM and you want to go and check a chill gig, go and check them out. Tangerine Dream. This one's called You're Always On Time, unlike myself, who has even just ran over the 1 minute in this video, barking on about other things. Next up is Two Lanes. Now these were one of my last year Future Stars, or one of many of the Future Stars that I put into the Future Star series last year. Didn't make it into the top 5 listened to throughout the year, purely because it is so chilled. It's not something you want while you're driving, to be honest. Well, it depends on your mood. I like to drive with flicking along. Either way, Two Lanes are awesome, and musically they have got the classical stylings and the electronic things, and they then just marry them together and you go poof, Two Lanes. Now you can catch Two Lanes in San Diego of all places. They're playing somewhere called Bay Nick or Bay NK on the 20th of January. Ooh, that's very soon. And they're still playing in the same place on the 29th. So if you're in the San Diego area, check them out. Well worth it, you will not be disappointed. Enjoy Two Lanes. This one is called the Illo remix of Reflections. Here's Halcyon with their version of Crawling. It is epic, as are they. Now, dare I put my hat into the ring? There's a ring there. Right, my hat in the ring, and I will say this. Very much like Justin from The Darkness. You know the guy. He believes in a thing called love. These are undercover musical geniuses. They understand music in a way that mere mortals may never get to experience. I'm lucky enough not to be one of those people, although I do have a secret weapon. I actually see the music. The images are truly spectacular. I just can't translate them into actual talent. Whereas this young lady, she has talent. She can take things and put them an octave, just change it by an octave. I mean, the precision of this surgical precision to change a song by just an octave, you know. Anyhow, herself and the band are on tour. You can catch them in London if you're quick on the 4th of February. Other than that, the stateside. Worth a listen, definitely. Enjoy. Oh, and not since the Melodica Brothers has somebody been able to cover things and make them new. Ooh, and that would be an interesting combination, wouldn't it? If Hallison and Melodica Brothers collaborated on a cover. Would that make the cover the greatest cover of all time? Or could it be the greatest song of all time? Not since Eminem has there been a white boy rapper with a flow so fluent, it's just faster than a Taco Bell reemergence. This guy is on point, and he can flip genres as well, which is very interesting. It's times like this when New Music Friday comes along and I'm listening to bands like Halcyon, Sunny Guitar, Slim, and this guy here, Eco, that it would be kind of nice if I could do this live and share across the whole world, because not that they need the exposure by this crazy dude, but it's just nice to share good music. That's what music is. It's a universal language, and this guy is speaking it fluently, crossing genres, crossing the ponds, crossing the world. Definitely one to watch. In fact, so far this new Music Friday has been quite interesting. Looking forward to it if it ever goes live, but until then, you have to put up with this ugly mug on a Friday. Enjoy Echo and Heater 2. It's hot. Fire. Alrighty, I feel good, and so should you. It's a sunny, cold, crisp Friday fun day, and it wouldn't be a New Music Friday without Pitbull. Now, can we go for the hat trick again this week? Will it be Ed Sheeran and Snoop Dogg to follow at some point? But I don't know. We've got one out of the 3 so far. It is a many remix of People. It's featuring Anthony Watts de Joaz. I don't want to talk too long because every time I do Pitbull music in the background, it gets pulled! But I still feel good. For fudge's sake. Straight after the goal of Pitbull for New Music Friday, I mentioned Snoop. And what comes next? Snoop Dogg. So that's 2 out of the Holy Trinity. Here we have Snoop Dogg featuring Heidi Klum of all people, and Wedding Cake. Now usually I'd check out and go, who's Wedding Cake? I'm not really that fussed, to be honest. I'm really not. But I will check it out at some point, because all music deserves to be heard. And I'm listening to it right now. The hat trick. So it's 2 down, 1 to go. All that needs to finish it off is Ed Sheeran. What do you think? It is January. Okay, my musical radar just couldn't let it slide. I had to find out who Wedding Cake were, but I didn't want to Google Wedding Cake because then I'd be bombarded with Wedding Cake suggestions for years, and I've only not long ago had a divorce, so don't want another Wedding Cake. But I checked them out. I'm following them now on Spotify, so maybe something better will come along. I was the only follower apparently, so hopefully by the end of today maybe I'll have some more. Ooh, this will be a good one. It's Pegboy Nerds with So Fun, or So Fun with Pegboy Nerds, and I'm just waiting for the drop. There you go. We had a bit of a drop from a curb, and it's awesome. Good. Shine on, shine on. Oh, Placebo, how I love you. I'm so glad they've got some new music out. This is from the EP, not album. Try Better Next Time. There's 3 tracks on it, all as good as each other. They've got a massive tour starting in May, pretty much bossing around all over the place. Don't come too close to Liverpool, sadly. With a bit of luck I could get to Leeds. But I'm just happy they're back with some new music, because the last album, Life is Loud, is over 10 years old now. But to me, it seems as fresh as it was back then. So yes. I wonder what they feel about all this new direction of the world's taken. I would call these pioneers. Here's a change of pace by the Midnight String Quartet. Now, their very own blurb says they do music for dinner parties, so weddings, and sophisticated style added to it. Because what they do is they take modern tracks and they classify them. But unlike my rant about classical music a wee while ago, this isn't as fuddy-duddy. I mean, it does err on the side of fuddy-duddy, but still not quite fuddy-duddy, you know what I mean? If you book these for the dinner party, you can guarantee that they'll be able to play a bit of Jay-Z as well as John Sebastian Bach. So, yeah. Shout out for your dinner party. Hey, I said this last time Slash came into New Music Friday. I said I think it might ruffle some feathers when I say that the best stuff Slash has done has been away from the Guns N' Roses umbrella. And I'm sticking to it. Luckily it didn't ruffle too many feathers in Metal Talk or Metal side of TikTok, because I haven't got that many followers. So, whew. The only time I was grateful for that. So I'm going to say it again when I've got like 60 more followers. I'm saying it again. Slash's best stuff has been since Guns N' Roses. Slash is aged like a fine wine, whereas Guns N' Roses is aged like a McDonald's hamburger. Looks kind of the same, but just you wouldn't eat it. You know what I mean? Either way, I've said it again with an extra 50 something followers. Let's see how many people I upset, or how many people agree. Because this is with Miles Kennedy, and it's awesome. And Slash is a guitar god. He was bestowed to us many moons ago with the interracial, interdimensional background, and given us the gift of guitar, and he now shares it with the world. Guns N' Roses is but a blip on his stardom. Enjoy, Slash. We've gone from guitar greatness of godness of Slash to Static and Ben and L. It's with 24 karat golden, called Bella. I can feel my hips trying to move. I mean, they'd probably be moving a lot more if it wasn't so old. Instead I'm just creaking on a chair, but I want to move, so I might add this to a skating playlist. Yeah, I'm jam skating now. Either way, with to add to a funky uptime playlist. Straight? Yeah. Welcome to Wagner. This is a rendition by the London Philharmonic orchestra. This is the Wagner Overtures and the Preludes. I mean, just think, it's not just George Lucas who does something and then goes, I know what would make it better if I completely make up the beginning that we didn't really think was good enough to include in the first place, but we're going to put it in the thing and then we're going to make it a trilogy into an epic. So, maybe George Lucas is the Wagner of our time. Now, what can I say? If you like classical, this is a perfect rendition. My face is saying one thing and my voice is perhaps saying another. You're a wizard, okay? You are a wizard. And here he is with Afro Jack and Miss Palmer. I also found out that he likes to throw cakes. How did I miss that? Well, I'll tell you how I missed that. Because as much as I admire the wizard, okay, I have yet to find a place where I can enjoy a live venue. Because I live on a rather small island that's backwards, so it doesn't really have access to this type of thing. See, disappointed. But you won't be if you listen to this. It's Afrojack, Steve Aoki, and Miss Palmer, and it's no beef. So I have no beef with Aoki, and I would love to get a kick in the face from the wizard. Expelliarmus is a rather chilled one by Riot and Bellerini. It's called Fight or Flight. Now, we would expect with a title like Fight or Flight, it would quite honestly have a crescendo of calm, but then have some sort of induced panic and then the drop. But it seems rather chilled. So, I don't know. Maybe there's many a remix coming on. Don't get me wrong, this is not a bad track. It just, the title doesn't go with the images that the music is portraying. So hopefully there will be some heavier remixes or fright intensifying remixes. But as it stands, this is rather chilled, and I could put this on a chill playlist, to be honest. Yeah, even that bit. How many times has the great words from this great man been misinterpreted and taken out of context and used as a weapon called the word? Which is sad. Completely sad. Always wary when something like this comes out. But no, this is just beautiful. A great tribute, carrying the weight of the messages of those words and bringing it to a younger generation that perhaps needs to re-listen without rose-tinted spectacles and look forward to a future where a symphony of brotherhood can come together across all cultures and creeds. It will certainly help all us mixed kids. If you're as old as me, you'll remember when 50 cent became a quarter. That's American speak for 50 pence went to about 25p because he hit some hard times, hit some bankruptcies, made some bad decisions, and kind of disappeared for a few years. Came back stronger though. Same thing with X to the Z, fighting demons and other things, and shit happens. I'm glad he's still on the well, to be honest. Here he is with Powder Respect, 50 Cent, You're a Myth and Ladurk, and I forgive him for pairing up with Ed Sheeran. Not that it needed my apologies, but that 50 Cent, Eminem on the same track with Ed Sheeran, that just blew my mind. Definitely taking it back a few years with this album, or this track. Yeah. Oh, the fudge is Gypsy or Gypsy. I mean, can you remember a few weeks back on New Music Friday, they had a track with Aerosmith. Then they did something with The Verve. and now they're featuring the Carpenters. And when they were doing that track with Aerosmith, I thought, I need to find out who these are. Are they studio brats of the music scene that have been on the fringe for many years and have contacts through daddy's dads and all the rest of it? Are they a new talent on the scene? Who are they? And then I completely forgot about it with my ADD, autism type brainy neural craziness going on, and completely forgot about it until today when I'm sitting here listening going, what's this? This sounds familiar. And it's them again. So I'm reminding myself to look further into who Gypsy are, because they're not bad. They're working with, collaborating with some great people, and it intrigues me. So if you know who they are, leave a comment. And here's this rumba coming up next, so I'll talk about that in a minute. Remember the end of last year when I went down that rabbit hole trying to find out where you want to rumba, you want to deal with the big boys? We're going back kitty. Where I wanted to find out where that came from. And I did. And the rabbit hole was suddenly a huge universal world of musical discovery. And it was an orgasmic experience. It led me to ERA and Eric Livy, who is responsible for the background of this music. Then it also meant we crossed the globe and ended up here in sun-kissed lands, and we found Neptunes, who are all responsible for that 30 seconds ditty when Crown P sort of put them all together. So now here's Neptunes. It's a lot chiller and it's nice. So here we go. Music, man. It crosses the world in ways we just never truly experience, and it connects us all. I mean, who would have thought a French composer would be responsible for this and rumba and with the big boys? I love it. The universal language. Yeah. Well done, Neptunes. Now, I'm still adamant that the year 2022 will see a full-on disco revival. I will eat my hat if it doesn't happen. But I also have a sneaky suspicion that the world of pop punk, skater punk is coming back big time. We had Aria from late last year. We have the Sunrise Skater Kids, and we have these guys, Back Garden Light. Now, Back Garden Light, they're French. Don't hold that against them. But they're French, and they are pop punk and thrash punk clashed with metal hardcore, kicking it in the face with a brick. They are freaking heavy. I like them a lot. Sunrise Skater Kids, they've got the typical US flow to it. So yeah, we could have a very, very strange world post-pandemic. We can have the resurgence of disco and roller discos and all the good times. Hopefully not the flares and the nylon. I cannot be wearing nylon again. Ugh, my nipples, man. Anyhow, we could have the disco, but then we could also have baggies and chains back. All of which I still have in my wardrobe. I just need to lose about 4 stone. So, good times ahead. Good times indeed. Now the Clock app is pretty damn cool for new music, if you ask me. Not since SoundCloud and the days of the fanzine has an independent artist been able to get his music out to millions of people without the aid of a big bad producer. But we somehow let Crown P slip in. Now, don't disrespect, but here's another TikTok tune. I mean, listen to I don't know what the trend is that goes with this song, but you know, take yourself down that rabbit hole, find out where the music comes from, and you will be pleasantly surprised by the music that inspires such little ditties. No disrespect to Crown P, but the last two, that being the last 2 weeks New Music Friday, have been about as much fun as a 48k Spectrum soundtrack game. It's okay for the first 5 minutes, but then after 5 hours you just want to smash the screen. I said it last week, I said it the week before, and I said it the week before that. Reinhard Bull is and has produced the best faith-based music I have heard since James Brown was on the Blues Brothers. This is faith that has taken him on a journey. Now, he would like, as I've said, us to the journey to guide us towards Jesus and Jesus' love. Fair play, if that's where it takes you, fair dues. I get the sneaky suspicion that he's been on a journey, and that's how he interprets that journey. He's seen stuff, because this music, the visions that I see, yes, that path has taken him through some dark avenues and alleyways, but there's been light at the end of that tunnel, and it's given us this. Now, whatever the reason, whether he believes it's Jesus, that doesn't take away. This fucking album is awesome. It's truly beautiful. It's a journey from start to finish. Now, whether the endpoints, mine and his endpoints, will differ, it doesn't take away from the fact this album is fantastic. And I have a sneaky suspicion this would be a fantastic reproduced remix versions for the trance scene as well. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. See, even just listen to it, you can feel it. It tries to get you on that journey. It's like, get in the car, we're going. Where are we going? I don't know, but I'm following the music. Whew, that would be one hell of a ride. Well played, dude. Well played. Alrighty, Roo. That has been this Friday, New Music Friday, with me, X2E. And let me just tell you, it's been a freaking awesome week. I really have. I've enjoyed pretty much every track that has been in my new release radar this week. What was your favourite? Because personally, I've got quite a few. I mean, Rehab and Timmy Trumpet doing Call Me. That was freaking awesome. And then, of course, you got Two Lanes, the Shanghai Treason. Oh, don't forget the first Monster Cats Call of the Wild, episode 383. That was also on my New Music Friday, but I tend to do the video on that because it's Monster Cat and I overplugged them already. But yeah, no beef with Steve OK. Oh my god, what a week it has been. Tremendous. I've been X2E. I'll still be X2E the next time you see me, and I'll still be doing as best I can with new music. So if you like it, please follow, because I would really like to do this live just once, you know, just to do it live. It would be amazing. Yeah, I've had good times, I've had good fun, hope you have too. Join me in next week for New Music Friday, and I will see you again in the week coming up between then with other random music that comes across my desk.